Hi and welcome to Steve Chats Wrestling, hashtag SCW, right here on YouTube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video. Subscribe right now. Leave any comments in the comments section. Like and share the video as well. SmackDown, the review for you. SmackDown Live this week. And I got to tell you what, I'm enjoying SmackDown of late. I think it's a really good show tonight. I really enjoyed it. A lot of emphasis on the new championships. And before we actually get into the show, a new look in the arena this evening. Quite liked it. We saw a new look for the sort of Titantron kind of staging area. It just looked a lot fresher, SmackDown tonight, which is nice to see, because Raw had that kind of sort of makeover when they're the original brand split, and now SmackDown has kind of got its own look as well. Of course, no, it's not the SmackDown Fist. Of course, we all would love to see the Fist come back, but do you know what? It's 2016. It's new. It's exciting, and I'm fully on board with the new look of SmackDown in the arena. And I'm hoping it's not just a one-off after SummerSlam. I'm hoping they're going to be doing this now each and every week. But going then into the main dose of the show, it's focusing on the championships, the new championships, the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and the new SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, what I like about this instantly is that I wasn't initially on board with the idea of doing this, but immediately these titles seem important. The way it's been kind of conducted, we've immediately found out that with the women's division, that their match at Backlash is going to be a six-pack women's match to determine the first ever SmackDown Women's Champion, which for me, everyone is kept on par. No one seems any less important than the other, and I think they've done really well with doing this with the SmackDown female roster. And even, to be fair, the tag team division, they've done a fairly good job with that the whole way through so far, because Raw looks like it's lacking in teams now, where SmackDown seems to be kind of like, well, no, we have our teams and we know where we're going with them. So I'm pretty much on board with that. SmackDown's got a tournament going on, and we see two matches this evening with that tournament. We see the Usos defeat the Ascension, and we also see American Alpha defeat Breezango. Now, personally for me, I was a bit surprised Breezango weren't one of the teams to make it through to the final four, but clearly they've got a different direction of where they're going to go. I think it's quite likely that we're going to see the Usos versus American Alpha in the final, and I'm expecting an Usos heel turn, perhaps even becoming the first SmackDown champions. We'll have to wait and see in the tag team division. But as well as that, Heath Slater made an appearance on SmackDown this week, saying that he would like to be involved and earn himself some gold, because he's the highest free agent right now. Of course, he was told he couldn't go for the Women's Championship for obvious reasons. Eventually, he managed to get an agreement that he could go for the tag team titles of SmackDown if he can find himself a partner. But the only way he would gain a contract is by the fact he guaranteed that they would win the tournament. So Heath Slater did manage to find a partner. He managed to find Rhino in the show as his partner. So Rhino and Slater will be in a tag team match in the tournament next week. Going back to the women's division, we saw two very good matches as well. I quite enjoyed Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, and what we say a match, but it didn't kind of happen in the end. Nikki Bella making her return, and she was attacked as she was having an interview with Renee Young by Carmella. Now, the interesting thing for this was it kind of almost seemed like a double turn here. Is Nikki Bella the face now, and more importantly for Carmella, has she turned heel? I suppose we'll have to wait till next week to find out more information on that, but certainly very exciting, and I like the direction they're taking with these titles at an early stage. Elsewhere in the show, we see Randy Orton have his talk on Brock Lesnar, saying that their paths are not finished in the long run, but he'll be moving on the time being, because his program has started this week with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt saying that he is a god and he cannot be finished, and Randy Orton will learn that in time. So it seems clear that these two will be taking on each other at Backlash. The build-up starts now. Elsewhere in the show as well, we see Shane McMahon also addressing Brock Lesnar as well, saying that him and Brock are not finished by any means. Of course, it crossed the line, and he said that Stephanie McMahon's punishment of Brock Lesnar in the storyline in terms of fining him $500 for his actions at SummerSlam for the F5 on Shane McMahon almost didn't really pay much respect to Shane, and it seems that maybe down the line, according to DWM, we could be getting a Shane McMahon Brock Lesnar match in the future, which could be interesting with the Raw versus SmackDown element. I mean, the rumour is now that Brock Lesnar won't be back to the Royal Rumble, but of course these Raw versus SmackDown matches can also happen at the big pay-per-view, so Royal Rumble. We could even get a Survivor Series before, which would be very interesting, because it would then link between the Shane versus Stephanie angle once again. Last but certainly not least, we'll be focusing on AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler, who've been kind of going at it all through the show. At the start of the show, a bit of an altercation where they'd be pulled apart, also interrupting when the title announcements were being made. They'd be pulled apart at ringside. Once again, AJ Styles actually was in the ring gloating about his victory over John Cena. This was interrupted by Dolph Ziggler again. Daniel Bryan had enough and said that these two were going to fight. AJ Styles said he was the worthy #1 contender. Daniel Bryan agreed and said that he would be fighting at Backlash for the title, but in the main event of the evening will be AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler, and if AJ won, it would stay as a one-on-one match, but if Ziggler won, then it would become a triple threat match. We would treat it to a very enjoyable match as well. The second really good match that AJ Styles has had within two or 3 days, and well, it was nearly 20 minutes long as well, but AJ Styles eventually becoming the victor with the Styles Clash, which was very interesting going forward as well, because we don't know what Dolph Ziggler will be doing now, but AJ Styles will be taking on Dean Ambrose at Backlash. So this show really heavily featured on what we're going to get in a couple of weeks' time at Backlash, the pay-per-view. No wasting time. And for me, SmackDown at the moment has become the A show. I'm enjoying SmackDown a lot more than Raw. It seems that Raw, of course, perhaps not so much fault of their own with the loss of Finn Balor, now with the injury. By the way, he's had his surgery today. No word yet on the time frame and if the surgery was successful. When that is brought to light, then I will bring that update to you here on the channel. As well, we're missing Sasha Banks as well, and it seems that with the Dudley Boys leaving, there just seems to be a few of the divisions that seem to be just missing a couple of bodies, and it seems that at the moment Raw needs to build up these stars a bit more, and SmackDown at the moment seems to be doing a good job of making people creditable and perhaps even relevant again. I mean, Dolph Ziggler against AJ Styles 2016, who would have thought that for one, AJ Styles would actually be going to be in the main event for a championship anyway in WWE, but he'd be doing that again after his defeat when he lost to Roman Reigns earlier in the year. But also Dolph Ziggler, I mean, this time a few weeks ago Dolph Ziggler was kind of irrelevant completely, but now he seems quite relevant again. So for me, SmackDown doing a really good job on the whole. But let me know your thoughts anyway in the comments below. Did you enjoy SmackDown this evening? Do you think Backlash is going to be a good event? What do you think of the new championships? Personally, I love the designs, particularly the SmackDown championships for the tag team division. Looks amazing. I love the blue belts, and really is a good symbol, and they look important and they look really good. And unfortunately, the Raw belts for the Universal Championship didn't have that same effect, but I think fans will be on the whole a lot happier with the SmackDown effort with the women's and tag team belts. But let me know your feelings in the comments below anyway, and subscribe right now. You've been watching Steve Chats Wrestling right here on youtube.com. Thank you for choosing the channel and choosing the video, and make sure to subscribe.